All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our 10th war of the season. So this war, I am on path 9 and then path 5. And so I brought Quake to fight that Punisher 2099, and I figured I'd probably get one or two mini bosses going into this war, but nothing too crazy. This rogue is actually only a rank 4. You can see only a 455, so I still had my defensive build. So no suicides, because that second fight is an Annihilus, and I knew, of course that's a Sim Supreme fight that you want Mystic Dispersion, and I didn't want to have to switch masteries, especially for a rogue that's only a rank 4. I've been doing decently well against rogues, kind of getting my ass kicked a little bit, but at least surviving, so can't complain too much. I think I put on a combat regen boost again, just I have a bunch of these, and they're mostly just useful for saving potions. So my goal this fight was actually to push her back and try to avoid getting backed into the corner. So I wanted to block hit, but she never gave me a chance early on to block hit. There I just missed the parry. So yeah, here she threw an SP1, so I figured, okay, I'll get one of the heavy counters out of the way. And then you just gotta leave yourself open, make sure you get a parry. And then I actually was able to kind of back her up a bit. So that way I wouldn't have to spend the whole fight just stuck in my corner. Here I was debating whether to go for it. I ended up going for it. She was almost at a bar of power, so usually I prefer not to hit her 3 times when she's got power. You can see with no charges and no suicides, he is, even at rank 3, just a complete noodle. Like that was like a sub 4K medium attack, so pretty crazy. So again, here I'm just trying to back her up. It does a little bit of damage, plus, again, if I'm backed up into my corner, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but if she's backed up, she's also more likely to throw specials, and then I don't get stuck into those infinite heavy loops that I've been in several times. Some of those intercepts actually are not intentional. I'm not Lizer, like I'm not an intercepting god, so some of those are just kind of lucky. There, bait the SP2. At this point, I only had 4 charges, so it's kind of like, huh, this is kind of weird. But she threw that last special, and then I was able to finish her off. So super, super long fight, but other than that mistake where I took a couple of hits, not too big of a deal. Pretty simple. Probably would be dangerous to take a rank 5 without suicides, although I have done it. You'd probably want the power start boost, or the power back boost. So this next fight is a rank 5 Annihilus on Aegis Intercept. Sim Supreme, of course, shuts him down completely. He takes away his rod. So a couple of hits, get 1 intercept. That was a pretty lucky intercept. And then that was a really nice, just straight up intercept. So now I just need to build power, get my SP3. If he wants to not throw his special, whatever, it's fine. No big deal. I only have 1 sim fight. Shouldn't have done that second dex. That was dangerous. Should have just blocked it. It's really easy to get clipped by his special 1. But yeah, once you get the indestructibles off, Sim Supreme, of course, just kind of annihilates this guy. So there, getting a special 1, missed the evade, but, again, not a big deal. Sim Supreme has that protection. So SP2 here, power steal, fight's actually over because of all the bleeds. So really simple fight. Yeah, really good matchup for Sim Supreme. So this next fight is going to be pretty interesting. So I did put suicides back on at this point. So you can see those are my boosts. Do want another regen boost because I was going to have a Quake fight next. Not for this fight. This fight I wasn't worried about at all. So just the straightforward, parry 2 hits. Parry 2 hits. Well, I keep doing 4 hits. I don't know what I was doing there. Shouldn't have done that. That was pretty stupid. Those light hits don't really do much. Here he throws his SP1, and you can see my damage is gone. which is kind of interesting. I didn't know he does that. So throw the heavy to try to get the evade charge. Of course, he evades that heavy. But then the second heavy he doesn't evade, so I build my second charge. And then throw the SP2. The third hit does no damage. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with like his abilities. Because I didn't have any debuffs on me or anything when I threw it, so I don't know, maybe when he places that careful weakness or something. I actually have no clue. Here I threw the SP1 just because I was running out of charges and I wanted to do some damage. And then at this point, actually, pretty much all I was doing was trying to make sure he doesn't get Aggression Furies, and then just trying to kind of heal off some of the debuffs. That's really all I was doing there. Just to get like above 90%. So prolong the fight a bit longer than I needed to. Just to get some regen. Usually that backfires, but that time it worked out nicely. But 43 hits, definitely the most hits I've ever had in a Corvus fight. Pretty crazy. So the next fight is this Punisher 2099. I was pretty worried about this fight just because, again, I'm not much of a Quake player. I didn't want to Corvus it because then you have to deal with all of the nonsense from flow and everything. And then as soon as I click into this fight and it starts, you can see, boom, he's got suicides. So he's ticking for 500 and 900, so super easy fight at that point. So I was really happy. I don't think you probably wouldn't be able to die to him if he's got suicides. Probably would be impossible. You can see just how quickly he's melting himself, actually. It's not really anything I'm doing. If I knew he had suicides, of course I would not have brought Quake and wasted the roster spot. I would have just Corvused it, because you actually wouldn't even need to hit him, really. So next fight, Yondu. I was kind of happy I got through that Quake fight, so this fight I kind of half-assed. Wasn't paying the closest attention to it, which, you should never do. Even though realistically he's not going to be able to kill me. Right, I know I mess up at some point. That was actually a pretty nice intercept. Right there, yeah. Totally screwed up, and then I don't know what the hell I was doing there. Yeah, that's it. Pretty easy. Kind of silly placement. Yondu doesn't do anything. So then the next fight, this is my last fight for Section 2 before I got a couple mini bosses. So I'm just going to put on the kind of minimum boosts. There's no fights that are remotely concerning. So yeah, the torch fight, my only thing was make sure he doesn't have a bar of power when he goes unblockable, because I don't want to have to deal with the unblockable SP1s. So I didn't chance it. I maybe could have hit him one more time, but I just didn't want to risk it. So then the unblockable goes away. Bait the heavy. I go in, and you can see I start building incinerates. Like, look at this. 3 incinerates, 4, 5, 6, 7. And he's building smolders. And I melted all the way down to 49%. None of that should happen. I talked to Legacy about it, and he said that was just a bug with Human Torch. So that was pretty crazy. It cost me 50% of my health, which caused me to waste, I believe, 2 health potions to heal up for this Kingpin. I thought about not healing at all, because there's really no need, but figured in case he heavies me, if it happens to crit, although it's only a rank 1, could maybe kill me, so I just played it safe and healed up. But, nothing much really to this fight. You can do 5-hit combos once he's built up. There I thought the parry stuck, but it did not. So even the block hits, like I'm just trying to get him backed up, but even the block hits are doing like 4,000. That's actually more than what my mediums were doing with no charges and no suicides against Rogue. So pretty crazy. So just trying to get to my SP2. Again, this is a fight I wasn't really worried about. Got caught dashing back there, so pretty terrible fight overall, but just need to get through it. No big deal. Unfortunately, of course, it cost me a potion, which sucks. Shouldn't have healed up for this Quake fight either, but I'm kind of too paranoid. not to, even though we were up, a comfortable amount, and this war was never in doubt. So this is the last fight. Of course, the issue with Quake is she places aftershocks. Aftershocks can stun you. There I messed up. I am still going to either try to bait heavies or intercept. And I'm not going to hold to my SP2. I'm just going to use the SP1 when the aftershock is about to go away, just to kind of play it safe. So here I throw the special one. Only a 10% chance to stun, but I've been stunned plenty of times with her when she only had one aftershock. So yeah, that's it. 2 hits, and we are done. So pretty simple war for me, no tough fights. The only interesting thing that happened was that Human Torch bug, which was pretty crazy. I did kind of freak out a little bit when all of a sudden he just started melting. But, we got through it. So let's go to the stat sheet. Whoops. There's the stat sheet. So 72-0. Power rating finally hit 100. The true difficulty rating hasn't changed. I believe I used 240 units. So three of the health potions. Still first in power rating, but I'm only ahead by 1 point. And because I have so few fights, there's virtually zero chance I can finish number 1, which is pretty disappointing, but we are 7-3, I believe. So, we're still not giving up hope. Our next matchup, I forgot who matched. But it's not one of the very top alliances, so if maybe they can kind of knock themselves out a little bit, we could still possibly make a run at 3rd place. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Sorry there wasn't really anything interesting, but yeah, I'll see you in the next video.